Sure. So I'm Paulette Pommells. I call myself many different things. I guess the most current and relevant title is a lawyer coach. And so a coach who works with lawyers specifically is what I do now. And that is dovetailed from a litigation practice that I've had for 6 years at Ward & Ladner Gervais. And the realization that for myself, I knew that I didn't want to go into partnership. That wasn't the path for me. And figuring out what I would do next, not replicating that model by going into another private firm setting. So hiring my own coach to figure out how might I use my own legal skills in a way that was innovative and creative. Because the thing that I had recognized for me in a firm environment was that I was lacking access to my creative thinking, which is something that I discovered in professional life that I needed to thrive. So it became apparent to me, being coached, that these were techniques and processes that lawyers inherently use in strategizing in their files, particularly from a litigation perspective. And I thought, wow, wouldn't it be kind of brilliant if I started a business and modeled a coaching process after a legal memorandum, for example, where I could teach that process to other lawyers in mapping out their career. And that's what I did. So I set up shop in 2010 and have been building my practice one lawyer at a time. And that is to say that I decided that I wanted to have a grassroots practice where I would work with lawyers and avoid the institutional or the organizational element and not work with them, because I thought, it's about the individuals and the lawyers who are trying to carve out their own happiness and their own satisfaction within the practice of the law. So very much an anti-institutional approach to the beginning of my practice. And what has happened over time is the career coaching is the piece that most people approach me about. And it has evolved into business planning, business development, client development. It's not just about, okay, what am I going to do next in terms of my career, but now that I'm there, how am I going to succeed? How do I, recognizing in the 21st century, lawyers are not just lawyers anymore, they have to think like business owners, even in the firm context. I mean, long are the days when I think lawyers can coast off the clients that the firm has and be there, indefinitely. You've got to get your own business, and this sort of thinking is impressed upon lawyers when they first start with the firm. So even first-year associates, they're starting to put together business plans. And so I'm very much a responsive business in terms of looking at lawyers, their practices, what their needs and struggles are, and coming up with ways and solutions, creative choices that they can address these things that are authentic to them. And I think that's another key piece about my coaching practice. Working with the individual, I help them figure out a way that makes sense for them. So it's not contrived and it's not forced, and when you hear them speak, you think like, who is that person really underneath? It's something that accentuates their own strengths. And so now I'm working with firms to kind of bring this information to them, kind of this critical mass of information from individual lawyers, and now having conversations with them about, look, this is what's going on the ground and with lawyers, what's going on with you, and how do I now mediate these pieces of information to kind of create, almost an infinity of this conversation. And so I'm excited to be here today because I think this technology aspect to the practice of law is changing it, and I'm curious to see what everybody has to say about it.
Fantastic. How can people connect with you?
www.paulettepommells.com.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you.